Hi, this is Kamera. Points in the Bible, day number 121, First Chronicles chapter 3 through chapter 5. So I love the way God is showing us a continuation of the lineages from all the way from the first man ever created, who was Adam. Adam all the way down through to David's lineage. So you have Adam, and from Adam he used the son Seth. Seth all the way down to Noah. Then it was just Noah and his family, and then he shows us from his son Shem, Abraham. And then from Abraham, you'll see where he used Isaac. And then from Isaac, he used Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And then from Israel, of course, he shows us Israel and then his sons. And then it narrows down to Judah. Judah was one of Jacob's sons. And from there, you had David. David came from that line of Judah. And then, so you'll see now David's sons. And so we find that David had like 19 sons and one daughter. We only really read about a few of them in detail. For instance, you had Amnon, who was the firstborn. He was the firstborn, but he also raped his sister, his half-sister Tamar. And then we hear about Absalom, who happens to be the full brother of Tamar. He was the rebellious son, and he was off the chain. Then we read about Adonijah. Adonijah, he tried to take the kingdom when David was old. Then Solomon. Solomon is the son that became king after, he was appointed king after King David. And so then after that, we didn't hear about any of the other sons. He had like six sons in Hebron. Then he had other sons who were born in Jerusalem, and we find that with Bathsheba he had 4 sons, and then he had 9 sons from his concubines. Then he had they point out Tamar. So there's like 20 kids total, 1 daughter and 19 sons. So we didn't know about a lot of those sons. And then it talks about the kings of Judah. The kings of Judah who came from the lineage of David. And so as God promised, you'll see all of the ones who were appointed king in Judah, and you'll see who their father was and who the father's sons were. And so you'll see from King Solomon all the way down to Zedekiah. King Zedekiah was the last king before Judah was taken into exile. Yeah, and then the royal line after the exile. And we all know why the children of Judah went into exile. It was because of their rebellion against God. They had started to reject God, doing a detestable thing, serving idols, and God was very angry and not pleased with them. But he had already promised that if you obey, Israel had already been placed into exile by Assyria, but Judah was placed into exile by Babylon. Isn't that something later? Because they turned their backs on God, just like Israel did, served idols. So then scripture shows the other clans of Judah. So David's line was just one of the extensions of Judah. There were other clans of Judah that was also represented today, the descendants. And then other descendants from Israel, Simeon, you saw his descendants displayed. And then you had Reuben. Remember, Reuben was the firstborn of Israel, of Jacob. But because he slept with one of his father's wives, his half-brother's mother, he lost that position as firstborn. That was given to Joseph. And remember, Joseph had 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, who represent Joseph. So that's who took the firstborn spot. Jacob actually mentions that when he is in Egypt and he's talking to his boys, giving them their final blessings before he passed. And then you had Gad that was displayed, his descendants, and the tribe, half a tribe of Manasseh. So scripture shows us certain things about these different sons. For instance, Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, that half a tribe, they stayed on the east side of the Jordan. They were the first one allotted their inheritance, and they maintained their inheritance until the exile. So, guys, I love the way God is showing us how to unfold from the first man all the way through the line of King David. But there you have it, guys. That's points in the Bible. If you have anything you'd like to add, please place them in the comments area. That's day number 121, First Chronicles chapter 3 through chapter 5. You have a God-filled blessed day.